what are you going to do? When are you going to do that big project? Today or tomorrow? So if you're joining us, please say where you're from, say hi. If you have any questions, post them below wherever you see this. I'll take a look at it after this live video is complete. So do the social media thing, share, like, follow, all that stuff. And we'll get into the topic of the day. So when we feel our best, we are getting stuff done. We're making forward progress on the important and meaningful things in our life. And that could be career for a lot of folks, but it's also family, it's also health, it's also just general well-being, it's hobbies, it's all the different things that we could be doing that help us feel relaxed, help us feel centered, help us feel purposeful as we advance. And with everyone at home, there's tons of opportunity to work on meaningful things because the commute's gone, because we don't have to shuttle the kids around because they're here. And that could be a blessing or a curse. But, we have these opportunities and the extra time, because time usually was the excuse of not doing things like getting into our best health or taking on more at work because I just don't have the time, right? If that's you, raise your hand. If not, then I'm sure you know someone like that or you've been that person before. I know I have. So what do you do when you're consistently saying like, oh, I'll start this when ... and then that's sometime not immediately following when you're going to say that statement. Something way out in the future. And, that phrase that, oh, I'll do this tomorrow, I'll do this later, is really just taking the wind out of your dreams. It's taking the wind out of how you're progressing in your life. And I, for one, as your coach, am not going to stand for it anymore. So think of something that you've been putting off, that you've been delaying purposely, because usually delay is followed by procrastination, right? It's the only time procrastination's really on its game, where it's like, oh, I heard delay, bam, I'm here. Okay, we're procrastinating now. So how do you handle that? Well, if you were with us yesterday, we talked a little bit about having clarity on what you need to do next and the number one big thing you got to do. And with, so some clarity with a little dash of courage can help us get back into momentum, get back into our forward progress, back into those things that are really meaningful, that are driving us towards the life that we want. Because at the end of the day, I always say that we want more joy in what we do in our life, more personal growth and career growth, and more impact with those around us. So with those 3 words in mind, here is the suggestion to get over procrastination. So again, so we know what we need to do next from yesterday's video. So go check that out if you want a quick refresher. But when we know what the next task at hand is and we keep delaying, sometimes we're biting off too much, right? So the next action could be complete all the marketing for my business for the next 5 years, right? And that's super not reasonable. So if you have a really big goal, and you should have really big goals, something to work towards, how do you break it down into smaller chunks, right? This idea that what is the next smallest step towards, reaching that goal? It's like, oh, I got to work on copy every morning, and so I have to do a half-hour copy this morning in that particular example with marketing. So, what is that bite-sized thing that you can start to get momentum in? Because sometimes it's going to be messy. It's going to not be perfect. And if you have that perfectionism thing in the back of your head, this idea in technology is like, just ship it, right? You've been working on it for so long. There's only so much you're going to be able to do to make it its best before you release it out in the world and find out all the things that you did not see, right? So it's the same here too. Like, you're denying yourself that opportunity to learn when you try to perfect it, when you try to be perfectly ready for something, right? If your life was a little bit more messy, you're not going to die, number one. Some people have that feeling. It's not going to ruin your reputation. It's going to show your humanity, and we need more people showing that they're human, that they care, that they don't have everything figured out. Because that's all of us, right? I'm doing this morning show, and there's been times where it's been great. It's been times where it's been not so great. I'm still figuring out format and stuff like that. As a very visible example, every day for like since March, every morning during the week, here trying to figure this out, trying to make it look cool, but, still be true to my idea for this brand. So, just get out there, get in the game, get started, because sometimes it's that first step that leads to the rest of the momentum and gets rid of that, pesky procrastination that we all tend to have at one point or another. So, hope you find that helpful. Know what you got to do next, like we talked about yesterday, and then today, what's the next smallest increment you could do to move towards completing that? And just get a little momentum and see how that goes, guys. Okay? So, all right, go out there, find more joy in your life, more personal growth and career growth, and have a greater impact in your communities today, guys. Take care.